I'm going to use sandpaper to grind away some of this stuff. Now what the heck? I'm gonna sandpaper. It's unfortunate about this knot at the back of the moose. It's a little unfortunate. It looks like he's flatulent. So what I'm trying to do there is just achieve the look of some additional texture. And it's not looking bad. I can clean that up too if I want to, but a little bit of underspray, not a bad thing. And of course it's picking up some of the texture of the wood, which is not a bad thing at all. What I don't like is the dust that's being created. Sorry about that. Now the moose is animated. I want to get rid of some of that. Anyway, I can work on this, and I'm going to add some type to that with a stencil as well. But it just goes to show that you can create some very interesting pieces of artwork with stencils. You can combine stencils with various other media. For instance, what I'll do sometimes is create a piece of media on a thick piece of cardboard. Now this is a real Canadian icon here, so check it out. We got a moose. We got Johnny Bower, one of the late great Toronto Maple Leaf goaltenders. Heck, I could add a whole bunch of cool Canadiana here. Maybe a Toronto Maple Leaf. Maybe an actual maple leaf. Red. That could be cool. So you can see how mixed media can be really cool as far as putting all kinds of stuff together and creating some really interesting art. And it begins with a stencil. Talk to you soon. Bye now. And here I am cutting out another stencil. This time I'm using an X-Acto blade. Make sure your X-Acto knives are really sharp when you're cutting these things out. Now I tried something here. I'm not sure if it's going to work. This is just a plain paper, like bond paper. And what I did was I sprayed it with basically a rubberized spray to give it a little bit more strength and integrity. I'm not sure how this is going to work entirely. It's just an experiment, but you can see where I'm cutting here. You got to make sure that everything's cut through properly. And a sharp knife. Can you guys see through my head? I hope so. A sharp knife certainly helps with that. And you kind of have to go back and forth, repeat the cut just to make sure that it is cut. It's a little hard sometimes to keep track of where you've actually cut it. Let's just do this little section here. You can see how there's going to be space left for connectors in the stencil, so all the different pieces will be held together. There'll be some structural integrity to it. But it's just a matter of firmly cutting. I'm using a cutting board, obviously, supposedly self-healing. This is kind of old, so unfortunately it's beyond self-healing, but I still use it. I should get a new one someday. So let's just make sure that section is cut. This is from the guy's bike shirt. So it was a photograph of a print, and what happens is it tends to degrade, obviously, the shape of things. So I'm using a bit of artistic license just to either straighten things out or curve where I want to. But Eventually, I will get a nice clean stencil. It will have some structural integrity to it, so I can use it more than once. And what I might even do is spray it with, spray the front with some kind of spray varnish, just to give it a little bit of strength and a little bit of resistance to paint. I don't think he's going to be using any water-based paint on this, but it's a bit of an experiment. We'll see if it works, and I will let you know. Thank you very much. That is my little lecture and demo on stencils.